Hello valued viewers, I hope you're doing wonderfully well. It's the 18th of May 2023 and it's a wonderful day because I've just been given a preview copy of the F-15E Strike Eagle. Thank you very much for Razbam and Eagle Dynamics for sending that over. As well as that, we've been given a preview copy of the Sinai map module. Today we'll mainly be looking at the Strike Eagle because we've actually already had a preview copy of the Sinai map. If you want to see more about that, it's a slightly earlier version but still relevant. I will link that in the video description. So the Strike Eagle has just landed on my desk. It's a big, cool, complex aircraft. What we'll be looking at today is obviously a preview copy. It may well slightly differ from the public version when it comes out. And of course you guys are asking, when will this come out? Well, I don't know. In fact, no one really knows. I would suspect that it's imminent, but don't quote me on that, please. Needless to say, the F-15E is now available for pre-order on the ED website. So go and buy it. That's an order. When I received this preview copy, it came with a thumping great manual, the kind of manual you can print out and smack a burglar with. I only got this 20 minutes ago, and so I've not read it. So I'm a bit of a noob on this aircraft, and because of that, what we're going to do today is have a good first look at the aircraft and learn a bit about it. We'll cover the following. We'll have a quick look at special options, because we can. We'll look at the payload options available at the time of making this video. We'll have a look at the graphics, interior and exterior. A quick listen to the sounds. We'll have a good look around the front and rear cockpit and a look at the screens. A quick look at the radar, the Lantern T-pod and the Lantern Nav pod. We'll give it a quick fly, but that's going to be a bit weird, and I'll tell you why afterwards. And then, because we can, it's an F-15, we're going to do a maximum speed test. So first, special options. In GR, only I've got access to it, but I've got some of my guys watching. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello. Guten Tag.
We're going to go to special here. We're going to go to F-15 here. We've got throttle cutoff, ident, throttle afterburner, detent, some force feedback stuff, blah, 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 blah. The configuration of default INS, whether the INS needs gyro compass, whether it's stored heading or whether it's fully aligned. Default PP source, that I don't know about, so I'll have to research that. Some VR stuff, and that's about it. Okay, let's have a quick look in the mission editor to see if there's anything interesting there. Here's my guy. We've got additional properties. So how much time the aircraft has been airborne. That's interesting. So that suggests that there's either going to be INS drift in the nav system and or possible failures. That should be interesting. Cold aircraft is an alert status. Don't know what that is. That will be interesting. We've got laser codes for the various stations. And then we've got multi-crew stuff down here. Next, let's look in the payload. So the version we get is the F-15E S4+. And here she is in all her glory. As standard, she has 50% fuel, 11,000 pounds, and you can push that up to 22,000 pounds, which presumably utilises the conformal fuel tanks here, which is one of the major differences, obviously, between the C model. Otherwise, standard stuff here. We've got two different types of ammunition. You'll note, obviously, we've got a whole load of pylons. 1, 2, or stations. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So let's see what we get on each station. First, 8B, which I believe is that guy there. Air-to-air missiles, AIM-120B or C5, AIM-9 Lima, Mike and Papa. Note, there's no X-ray at the moment, so we don't have high off-board sight capability. Whether that's coming or not, I'm not sure, so I'm not going to put my foot in it. Or an ACMI pod. Let's put an AMRAAM on there. 8 is this guy here, obviously. You're going to have the options of some bombs. We've got some training bombs here. We've got a CBU-87, anti-light armor or infantry weapon, cluster munition 97, sensor-fused weapon for anti-armor. We've got GBU-10, 12, and 24. So that's 2,500 and 2,000 pound laser guided bomb. We've got a Mark 20 Rockeye cluster bomb. We've got unguided slick Mark 82 500 pounder or a Balut version or a Snake Eye version, and a Mark 84 2,000 pound low drag or two retarded variants of it. GP and TP, don't know what they are.
One is the training version, and the other is the real. We have both on the F-16
right,
too.
they're new, aren't they?
It's the same I used on the Iron Dome video, if you remember.
Fuel tank 610 gallon or empty, and I think we'll take that. And pods, travel pods, so I can take my lunch if I want. A is obviously this guy here, and we can have presumably the same stuff. Yep, the same stuff as you saw over there. Next, the conformal stations, of which we technically have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can either access them through this station here, where I can put a whole bunch of stuff, and we'll go through this in a minute. But let's say I want, I don't know, 6 Mark 82s. That takes all those stations. Or if I want to populate some of these stations here with 7C and 6C, then I can do that. And obviously takes away the bombs from that station there. So that's how that works. And I can have another air-to-air weapon there. Let's go with bombs, shall we? We've got a whole bunch of training staff. We've got BLU 107s. These are anti-runway bombs, guys. I think anti-runway bombs. I stand to be corrected. CBU 87s again, or sensor fused 97s. GBU 10, 2,000-pound laser-guided bombs. 12s, 500-pound laser-guided bombs. The number behind it is the amount that it can carry on all of those stations. The GBU-24, Mark 84, all the same stuff that we were saying before, but different quantities of them. Can't see anything new there. So a hell of a lot of bombs it can carry, and I'll go on that. 6 500-pound Snake Eyes. Next, this pod here is our nav pod station. At the moment, we can just, I should say, everything is relevant to the preview copy I've been given at mid-May. ANAEQ-13 Lantern nav pod. My understanding of the nav pod is that it is or contains a forward-looking infrared sensor which allows our pilot to, well, essentially see in the dark. We'll have a play with it later on. We have a belly pylon, of course, in which we can carry a bunch of bombs, as you can see there, or a fuel tank, or pod. Oh, I haven't spotted that before. Data link pod. That's new to me. Does anyone here know what the data link pod does, guys? Well, we're going to find out. Like I said, we've just downloaded this, viewers, so we're working out as we go. Next, you've got your targeting pod station on this kind of cheek here, and it is at the moment only an AN-AAQ-14 Lantern targeting pod, an old school Lantern pod, and that will be supplemented later with at least one modern pod known as a sniper pod. Next, we've got a carbon copy of what we saw on the other side, so I won't bore you with that. In fact, I will. I'm just going to see if I can put a funny loadout on this just for the lols. Oh, some new missiles that I managed to miss. We've got some AIM-7 Sparrows as well. Didn't see that before. Probably going to want to take these AMRAAMs instead. And let's put one of these on. And let's put a Sidewinder on. That there is my mud hen with a weird selection of stuff. Guys, as you're watching, is there anything else you want to mention about the payload or want me to test out now?
I was just curious about the travel pod. Is it really for your luggage? Like, yep. Literally.
Oh, they have to go to trade. They have to go to Red Flag, and they have to take their pants.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's quite cool.
Exactly what it is.
Imagine if you accidentally hit the jettison button. There goes your underwear.
Well, that would be very embarrassing for everyone involved, guys. That is the payload. Next, let's go and have a look at the graphics, viewers. And Mike has just informed us that S4 Plus is the Suite 4 version of the F-15E, and it comes with the AN-APG-70 radar. So there you go. I'm going to select it here. Needless to say, you can be either the front seat by pressing 1, or the rear seat. It's just loading in, obviously, or the rear seat. And this is the Wizzo's seat, and we will look at this more. I'm just going to let the thing loading in. I've only loaded it twice so far, so it's going to take a while to get into memory. There we go. So graphics, viewers. First thing to say is I'm running no mods. I usually run Reshade because it just enhances everything a bit, but this is vanilla. So this is what you will see when you get your Eagle. The graphics settings I'm running are the high option. So if you go into graphics settings and click high, I've literally just done that and left it, and I'm running a 3080 graphics card. Okay, guys, so I'm going to have a good pan, slow pan, because this is what's the most useful thing for you guys. Hopefully the YouTube compression won't mess that up. We will be looking at all this in a bit more detail, Viewingtons. Do not fear. Now, if you listen carefully, viewers, can you hear a thump? I'll let you ponder that for a minute. Okay, that thump is the antenna of the AN-APG-70 hitting the bump stops when it strands left and right. So even on the ground, that radar antenna is thumping left and right, and you can hear it hitting the bump stops there. Let's go and have a look in the rear cockpit. It's actually only my second time here, so this is as new to me as it is to you. I'm aware the Razbam have made their own guide videos. I think a proper F-15 operator did it for them, which is great. Unfortunately, I've been so busy with my own GR and non-GR stuff and baby and everything, I've not been able to even look at it. I'm afraid it's just live viewers. I've just turned on the engines by accident, so we best ignore that. All in all, I'll describe it as pretty top-notch, viewers, just to turn those engines off. In terms of the quality, it's all, I think you call it 4K, so it's all top-notch. It's basically what you would expect. It's as simple as that. There's a certain level of expectation nowadays with a new module, and there it is. Let's go and have a look outside. Here she is in all her glory. Yeah, cockpit looks pretty swell from outside. While we're looking, why is the Strike Eagle / Mud Hen a thing? Well, my understanding is, in the 1970s, the mid-1970s, the F-15 Eagle was made. A model, later converted to the C model, and it was a brilliant, brilliant plane. It still is, maybe the best plane ever made. And it only did air-to-air. And so they asked, well, can we make it to air-to-ground as well, and all the things that entails? And along comes, in the late, I think, 1980s, the E version.
What they actually needed, Cap, was sort of same role as our good old Tornado, is deep into diction strike fighter.
With that comes a lot more operations needed, and so one pilot wasn't enough. You needed to add a weapons officer in the back. Yep, sorry, go ahead, Fly.
Yeah, and it won against the, maybe you know, F-16 XL.
I did not.
Is it the Delta Wing one?
It was the Delta
yeah.
F-16, yeah.
When was... Wow, I literally didn't know that. I'm such an idiot, but well done for filling me in, Fly. I'm not going to talk, viewers. I'm just going to let you look. Right, onto my party trick, viewers. The exhaust nozzles have this famous howl when they actuate. I know you guys on the stream can't hear it, but it makes this kind of cool sound.
It's famous.
Right, that's that. You guys always tell me why it makes that sound, and I always forget, so it's a little relationship I have with the viewers. Next, I think we'll have a look at the cockpit and or the screens, guys. So first, in the front seat, it's going to be split into left console. I hope you can see my mouse cursor there. Front instrument panel, including left screen, right screen, and lower screen. I don't know what they're actually called yet, so we'll just call them screen. UFC here. HUD here, I'm sure you all know this, but let's just do it anyway. Right console here, in the rear, left console, instrument panel, and right console. Let's go and do some nerdy stuff. If you're not a nerd, you might want to skip this, but I'm a nerd and I want to do it. Guys, you can all see, you've got a ground power panel here. I'm not going to go switch for switch, because this is just a rough idea. Some indicator lights there, I would imagine probably for ground crew. We've got our sensors here, so radar master, radar altimeter, terrain finding radar, which is part of the AN/APG-70, I believe, so it's air-to-air and air-to-ground radar. I guess as you expect, the nav flare, which we will have a look at. In fact, I'll even turn it on now and put up the gain, and we'll use that when it gets dark. Our INS master mode, off, store, reline, blah, blah, blah. JTIDS is the data link. I'm pretty sure, guys. Have I got that right? Stereo lights, position, anti-collision, tail, and formation. We've got some volumes here for various, you know, weapons or intercom or ILS or whatever. Some more audio stuff there. I don't know what crypto is. IFF, which antenna you want to use. Probably not modeled at the moment. We've got radio stuff here. Which antenna you want to use, important for real, as not modern DCS, I don't think. IFF stuff here. You got your throttle quadrant here, and which obviously you do a thing with. Fuel here. This entire panel is fuel, and I don't know anything about the fuel system yet, so we'll find out when we start looking at it in more detail. Obviously, we're going to learn this plane. It's going to take a month or so. We'll go and learn it. MISC stuff here. Inlet ramps. These are interesting. Inlet ramps are the conditioning ramps for the inlet. I don't know. No, I can't get low enough to show you. You'll just have to take my word for it. CAS. This is going to be your augmentation system. I'm pretty sure this is not a fly-by-wire aircraft. Again, apologies if I got that wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be an augmented aircraft, and here's going to be your augmentation system. This, of course, is my favourite, nuclear button. If I want to go and drop a nuclear bomb, which I'm guessing we're getting, I have no idea, you go here and I can send to nuclear war.
Raspim and ED already said they don't include a nuclear bomb for the F-15.
Well, immediately I'm going to add that as a mod then, aren't I? Because that's what I do. Next, we've got this guy here, emergency landing gear handle, which I will not click. We've got emergency canopy release, which is a funny shaped thing. Look at it. Flap indicator. Oh, this is getting nerdy and I love it. All my old nerdiness is coming back, viewers. I haven't done tutorials for a long time, as you know, and there are reasons for that, but it's nice getting back into just, a bit of nerdiness. Hook up and down, obviously it has an arrestor hook, viewers. It's not a carrier aircraft. Maybe it could be one time only, but it's that in case it needs to use the arrestor hook on the runway, which happens surprisingly high amount of times. Gear handle, gear tone silencing thing to silence it, gear indicator lights, no idea what this is. Pitch ratio switch, don't know, let me know, no idea what that is. Obviously I haven't learned any of this yet. Master arm switch. A selector here for jettison. Do I want to jettison a certain thing? Don't know how it works yet. Fire extinguishers. Extinguish right engine, left engine, and AMAD. Fire extinguisher discharge, wherever you want to do that. We've got the screens. We'll come back to the screens in a minute. Some flight instruments. We have a backup. Obviously, the primary is on your HUD up here. Your backup speedo in knots, probably CAS, calibrated airspeed, I'd imagine. A backup ADI. We've got a backup barometric altimeter here with... yeah, just a friggin' knob.
JTID is Joint Tactical Information Distribution System. So, yep, you are right. That is the...
Angle of attack meter here. I'm guessing in degrees angle of attack. It could be units, and those are two separate things, so just bear that in mind. VSI, vertical speed indicator, in thousands of feet per minute, whether you're going up or down, and I recently learned how they work. It's quite interesting. Next, an emergency jettison. And what will that jettison? I don't know, and I'm tempted to find out now, but no, I'm thinking better of it. I will not, but it will probably jettison everything other than your air-to-air weapons, I would imagine. Oops, I just dropped something. Next, we've got our UFC up-front controller, where the pilot inputs and data to the machine. You've got radios here. These two are just radios. These ones up here are dynamic, depending how what you want to use. Click menu here, and you can go through the different stuff, and you can change stuff, and I don't know how to do it yet, so I won't. Radios, technically there are 4 radios on this aircraft. I think 2 of them might be for nav. I don't know yet, but they can be controlled here up on the UFC. We've got stuff to control the HUD, the mode you want to be, the brightness essentially, whether I want to reject some symbology, some other stuff, and we'll come back and look at this actually when we look at our nav blur. Master mode, hidden away but extremely important. Do I want my master mode air-to-air, air-to-ground, nav, or instrument? What does instrument mean? Don't know yet. Haven't figured it out. Center screen, which is the only coloured screen. Bunch of circuit breakers and an emergency BK steer handle. I don't actually know what that means. So, there you go. We've got some hydraulic flight control, system 1 pressure, flight control system 2 pressure, and util, which I'm guessing is everything apart from flight controls. Again, I stand to be corrected on that. A bunch of indicator lights. We've got a chronometer here. We've got a cabin pressure here in thousands of feet, equivalent cabin pressure. We've got here an IFE. An engine panel, just like in a Hornet. Percent of my engines. Woo! Exhaust temperature of our engines in centigrade. Centigrade? Celsius. Don't know. Forgotten. Fuel flow.
Celsius.
Pounds per hour. Nozzle position. And oil pressure. Next, we've got a fuel totalizer telling us we have, 30,000 pounds, guys. That's a lot, right? And that in our left and right internals. And you can separate it to see what's in your external wings, what's in your conformal fuel tanks, and so on.
So AMAD's cap is airframe mounted accessory drive, and that's something very complicated and technical to do with fire extinguishing.
I'm never going to learn that, guys. Right. Jet starter thing. All I know is it's something to do with this aircraft mainly gets started by ground. Is it ground power or ground air? I've forgotten. But ground assistance, shall we say. But it can start on its own without any help, and it does that via this thing. Indicator panel, obviously. We've got a emergency vent handle. Don't know what that is. Oxygen stuff, which is partially modelled in-game. Don't turn it off because your guy will black out. We've got engine stuff that we'll learn when we're doing our cold starts and stuff. I'm not going to look at it now. ECS, environmental control system, anti-fog, stuff like that. We've got air conditioning, which to an extent is modelled as well, so be careful of that. Interior lights, all various lights, floodlights and stuff like that. Bunch of blank plates. Why are all these blank things here? My guess is because it is the frame, well, sort of an F-15C, and the F-15C only has one pilot. You need all this rubbish here. But because there's 2 pilots, they've moved the stuff to the back. That is a guess. Don't quote me on that, obviously. I don't know. Well, guys, we've got an E2B compass up here. Lights, warning lights here and here. I'm going to guess refueling, and I'm going to guess fire missile. And we've got some mirrors here.
Do you know what it means? Because we have a arrestor hook. We're going to immediately land this on the carrier, right?
Well, that's what literally I
Question
was
is,
planning to
can
do this
you
video
use
only.
it?
Well, where? Alphas can find out. Arrestor hook down. They're such grim reapers. Yes, they are. Look at that. They are such frigging grim reapers.
Sorry, we do need to do an addendum here. The JFS is actually a standalone generator, internal. It is a small jet engine.
All right, guys, let's have a quick look in the back. Oh, HUD. I forgot about HUD. Why don't we? Right, it will change slightly depending, obviously, which mode you're in. And this is not a tutorial vid, so we're just going to do absolute basics, viewers. But just for the lols, you're going to have your speed here, which is wrong for some reason, but I guess it just doesn't work at 0. You got your alpha here, which is wrong as well, so that's weird. 10, or maybe, no, don't know. You tell me, viewers. We've got a magnetic heading compass at the top here, and we're facing 280. We've got our altitude above sea level there in feet. We've got our VSI here, vertical speed, currently of 0, and that's on the ladder gauge as well, which is nice. Some waypoint information here, or some navigation information here. What? I don't know. A roll indicator here, a pitch ladder here, a watermark there. And I think that's everything, guys. I'm going to have a look in the back, guys. I haven't set my controls up for the rear yet, so I've got to be careful what I press. Haven't looked at this yet, so let's go. Raw, rad. So, radio. Miscellaneous stuff. Volumes again. A lot of this is repeat. Some of it's not. Electronic warfare. Intercom. Oh, no. ICS is usually intercom, but let me know. Pods. Transmit and standby. I'm going to guess jammer pods, question mark? Don't know.
I bet.
RWR and ICS. So radar.
Internal countermeasure set.
Internal countermeasure set. Thank you very much. There we go. Learning. Radar warning receiver and internal countermeasures. What we got here? TGP must be targeting pod? Question mark power.
Yeah,
Yep.
flares.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Okay. Yep. got it.
Laser.
Yep.
It's included in the FLIR, the laser, yeah.
Laser. Okay. Roger. Sticks here for controlling Wizzo stuff. A video. Now, what is that? A video recorder?
Probably.
Yeah, for recording your missions and for debrief, I think.
Here's the funny thing about it. These F-15Es are still operating actually right next to my house. 48th Air Wings over there. And they still use this old tech. So we've got F-15Es that are operating real missions with cassette tape technology from the 1980s. And I'm like, why don't they move that out and put just a couple of USB sticks in it? It'll cost nothing and it'll be 100% reliable.
The problem is actually data security.
That's exactly right.
Just putting a different USB stick into the jet or into a mission computer on the ground and hacking it or stealing data or something would be too easy, so they use other kind of input devices.
Yeah, I asked Simba about this. He does this for a living, and he says, he's for his F-16s, he's got to use the old 1980s data cartridges, which weigh 10 kilos and can contain 3 bytes of data. The reason is they won't let him use anything else because, the Chinese can come and steal it, basically. So, isn't that interesting, guys? I found that really interesting.
Can I say, is this the cassette which will record, for example, the TGB video which can we see? So now I understand why it looks like it's filmed by a potato because it's stored in the old cassette.
Exactly. And the Eurofighter, it's the same for the cartridge. It's the same like the DTC card in the...
I don't think I'll ever understand that kind of method of thought, viewers, but I'm sure they know what they're doing. Right, you got that. A bunch of stuff that's repeated, obviously, and I don't want to waste your valuable time viewing things. You got 4 screens. The screens all show the same things, if that I'll explain that a bit. You've got a bunch of flight instruments, because obviously this plane can be flown from the rear as well. The Tomcat has a guy in the back, but he doesn't fly the plane. But the F-15E has a guy in the back, but he does fly the plane. Why is that?
It's not that he's supposed to fly it from the back. It's just a backup if, like, the pilot in the front is unconscious or out of some reason. Also, on long-haul flights, he can, like, take over for the pilot for, like, a couple of minutes or something, so he can stretch out, you know. But the Air Force don't train the backseater for flying the aircraft.
Right, you got UFC. Oh my god, sorry about that. I haven't set my controls up, so I've set it on full burn by accident. Never mind. Oh my god, yeah, we're going to pause. Right, we've got an ejection mode. Huh. CEDO. Don't know what that is yet. It's a thing. Your UFC here, which is presumably the same as the one in front. We've got oxygen here again for this guy. We've got TEWS. I haven't known what TEWS is yet. Does anyone know what TEWS is?
Tactical Electronic Warning System.
What could that mean? RWR, question mark?
Will it be like MWS, like it's gonna...
Yes.
So it sees the missiles coming or the flash of the motor, probably.
It's so it takes RWR, ICS, which is internal countermeasure sets. That's your self-protection jammer. And it's got electronic warfare warning set as well as countermeasure dispense all built in.
Okay, fine. Oh, you're not going to like me, but what's CMD? No idea. Disposable select.
Should be the same as the...
Countermeasures selectors. Yep, countermeasures, yep. We've got an interior lights, and that's it. Then we've got the screen. So, I know we just whizzed around it, but that was actually really easy, viewers. There's not a lot of stuff in there. It's moderately simple, I would say. Which suits me just fine at the moment. With my complete lack of sleep and 1 IQ, which I'm having to work on at the moment. Right, let's have a look at the screens, guys. You can use all the same stuff on each screen. It's kind of a bit like a Hornet, I guess, like that. That one's coloured. These ones are not coloured. So here is, for instance, your radar. It's a B scope, and I don't know how to use it yet because I haven't read the manual, but we will find out. I would imagine it's very similar to the F-15C one. Obviously, this is high fidelity, so you get almost infinitely more control over it. If you want to go to the main menu, you go there. Main menu 2, main menu 3, and back to the beginning. If you want to click on anything on a menu, then you go and do it. Air-to-air radar, pang. Air-to-ground radar, pang. How much of this stuff is working at the moment, I don't even know. TEWS there, which we've just learned, is our electronic warfare thing. So this is going to be like a fancy exaggerated RWR or something, an integrated system. T-pod. Why don't we, in fact, go and turn our T-pod on in the back. T-pod on. Turn the T-pod on, and there you can see T-pod. Every time I go in the rear seat, I go into full burner, which is a bit embarrassing. How do I use it? Don't know yet, but it is an old Lantern pod, so an early generation pod. It's IR only, I'm pretty sure, and it's probably going to be similar to the F-14 one we have in game. That's all I've got for you. Anyone else got any information on that? Right, TSD, tactical situation display, question mark. I guess it's like a map. A TF, terrain following radar. I'm guessing it's not in yet. Again, this is, my first look, so I don't know. HSI, horizontal situation indicator. It's our navigation, where we're going to do our navigation from. You're going to have your TACANs and your ILSs and all that stuff in there. How much is working, I don't know at the moment. Armament. Don't know yet. Oh, look at that. Okay, our SMS page.
Yeah, you have an SMS page for air and air to ground separately.
Right. So here is air to ground. So here's presumably where we're going to set our bombs up and stuff. I'm not going to do anything now, obviously, because I don't know how to do it, but here is where I'm going to set my fuses and stuff, probably. Very good. ADI, attitude director indicator, in case, you want to see your ADI flying at bad conditions. Built-in tests, event, no idea. Engine, got some engine stuff, viewers. HUD, you got a HUD. VTR, no idea. And so on. JTID, no. IFF, no. Imagery, no. A lot of this stuff just isn't in yet. Obviously, this is an early thing. Can anyone see anything they desperately want me to click on?
An emergency jettison.
I'm not going to do it. Now, in the colour one, you obviously get colour because it's a coloured screen. which drives me nuts. I mean, here's the thing. Even back in the 1980s, this thing cost millions and millions of pounds, and you're telling me you couldn't get a coloured screen? That annoys me, viewers.
It was a little bit more cheaper, probably, or something that, or they didn't find it like. Why do you need a colored screen for a radar?
I bet it's actually because always it's down in the middle. Maybe it's something with the visibility. So when you have a colored display up and you fly at like darker conditions, maybe that's the reason. But yeah,
there you go. Anyway, it shows the same stuff, but it's obviously got a fancy color down here. So guys, that is the cockpit and the screen. Why don't we do some sounds next, viewers, in a quick flight? Let's go and listen to what she sounds like. It sounds very nice. Well, the engines sound very nice. Also, you can hear all the hissing and stuff, which is probably sampled from a F-15. Does anyone know how to get this freaking hook up? Does it even go back up?
Actually, a thing I wanted to ask you, can you put the hook up, or is it like the F-16 once down, it's down?
Embarrassing for me, viewers.
Flick the switch, it says up.
Yeah, there's a switch.
Where is it? Yeah! Look at that, they built an actuator for the frigging hook to go up. Super sexy. There you go.
Nice.
Right, I'm going to give it a quick flight, viewers. Now, massive disclaimer at the moment. See that weird movement? My beautiful wing, which I've had for ages, I have finally broken the lateral spring that moves it, kind of allows it to move to left and right. So I've got basically almost... Why is it not moving forward? Auntie, why is it not moving forward? And hello and welcome, by the way.
You have parking brake.
I put my brake on. Yeah, I basically can't turn left and right on my stick. Not really. I've got no real control over it. Still not moving forward, Auntie. Oh, I've got pause on. Ladies and gentlemen, I had pause on. Ladies and gentlemen, super cap. Yeah, so I can't really fly. I can't tell how far I'm moving the stick left and right. I can go back and up though, which I know is stupid, bear in mind this is my job. And I've given away my 2 reserve sticks to valued viewers who needed to get into the game. So now I can't play until I get a new bit from China, which is on its way, obviously.
Cap, do we really wonder that you managed to break something?
Yeah, I know, right? I'll tell you why. I was in a dogfight, Coin versus Warbirds. I think you were there, actually. And I got very into it, shall we say, and bang, whacked it, and I snapped the bloody spring. So, super cap. That said, I do still advise you buy Wingman. I'm not sponsored, and I don't have to say that, but it's done me very well. So, yeah, don't let it put you off.
I'm honest, I was sad that I was not there.
Oh my god, that feels so weird. It's not the plane viewers, it's I can't really fly at the moment, because I can't really move left and right. So, I can't give you any real information, I'm afraid, viewers, about how it flies at the moment. Be completely inaccurate information. What we can do, I can probably still go up, straight up. She's still got a good power to weight ratio, even with all this gas in, so... Look at this view into Wilmingtons. I'm in a mud hen and I'm going straight up.
Yeah, but you're losing speed.
Yes, I hope I would with this frigging loadout. Look how much stuff I've got on me. Let's see what happens when it stalls out for the lols, shall we? So I can't really fly otherwise at the moment.
Look at the beautiful EFM, huh?
Yeah, it will have an EFM, and I'm sure it'll be very good because it's a Raspberry thing, but again, I can't really test it at the moment. That's just life.
It is basically a fuel truck because it's just like what 30 pounds of fuel. That's like 15 tons. So it's basically you can
pretty
go
much.
And fill up, you can land and fill up the gas station.
I can go fill up a load of F-16s, guys.
Yeah, think about even the mighty F-14 with bags on it has 21,000 pounds of fuel. That's 15E is mighty.
Roger. I just said what I'm doing, viewers. I can sort of control it like this. I can listen for the wind noise and stuff like that. So I'll just shut up and you can listen to it. Betty, what have you got me into? I'm good. I'm fine. I can still sort of fly. Right. So, yeah, I can't give you much information about the flight. We'll have to leave that to the other YouTubers and stuff, viewers. What do we want to do next? Why don't we try and get this lantern pod on, guys? Not the T-pod, but the nav pod. In fact, if I'm going to do that, why don't we make it night, viewers?
Do you want to look into the liveries quickly when you are in the editor?
Liveries, as expected, will come with a bunch of them. No silly ones, unfortunately. They're all serious ones, like this. I want one with a big shark mouth on it. But then again, I am Supercap, and this is why no one likes me. Lots of them, viewers.
There should be even an Israeli one. I already...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
F-15E,
Maybe go to Israel.
That's my favourite, viewers. That's the one I'll use in a thumbnail if I ever get to put this video out. There you go. I am Israel, the 69th Hammer scheme. Shall we go and fly at night with a lantern IR pod thingy on?
Yeah, interesting is that you can put it to the HUD, so that will be interesting.
So, I'm going to load in. Alright, first thing I'm going to do, my stick, my weird stick. I'm going to pause it, because obviously I can't fly at the moment with this thing. Left Alt and Lima, pang! Right, how I'm going to do this? I'm going to go... Okay, nav blur. Oh, it's already on. Great. Gain up. Let's pop in the back seat and do the same thing.
The T-pod is already on the MFDs.
Yep, it's already on here as well. Right. So bonus viewers, it's already turned on. So theoretically then, all I've got to do is turn this to night mode and turn the contrast up. And it doesn't work. Ah, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Sorry, viewers. Okay, you have to do... Yeah, I don't know exactly how it works, but you have to do these two knobs, one way or another.
Right. Brightness and contrast.
Brightness and contrast, right, so you both. Okay, let's go and unpause that. Oh, so weird flying like this, viewers. So my stick pulls, instead of putting to the centre, pulls to the outside. That kind of makes sense? Which is a pilot's worst nightmare.
It's a bit like the thingy we have on the Apache.
Yes, it is. But that's on your eyepiece, isn't it? So that is wherever you look. Here's a question for you then, Fly, as you're the super F-15 fanboy. Are we going to get some kind of helmet-mounted display that allows us to see in the dark on a helmet-mounted display, or how is it going to...
Yes, what Respam said is with later updates to the plane, we get like stuff real aircraft got later. So apparently they said one day we will get a helmet-mounted sight, like AIM-9Xs and more and stuff. But like later, not with like the release or close time after that.
Roger, guys.
Sorry to interrupt, but can you see there will come the ladder indicator for probably the ground proximity radar. Sorry, the radar altimeter on the right side of the HUD when you go underneath 1,500 foot. Like visually, you can see it.
There it is, look.
Low altitude.
Oh, well done, look at that.
Low altitude.
And you see a low alert on your right side.
Very good. All right, guys. Well done. Right. Next, I just want to do one more thing, guys. I just want to see now how fast we can get it. Because it's just something that someone asked for. And it's an F-15, so why on earth
you can remove some pylons. Maybe look what pylons you can remove. The middle pylon was definitely...
Fly. Well done. I didn't know that. Got a strip down, viewers. We're going for the Strike Eagle record, guys. I'm going to turn fuel burn off, so I don't have to worry about my fuel burn. And then I am going to do a thing.
I like the loading screens and main menu.
So at that point, I can't tell whether that's a game footage or a real footage.
Looks like both.
Viewers, you're wondering why I'm not giving any credence to the map here? I've done a full hour video on it already, so you can go and watch that if you want.
Together with a People Champ.
With the People's Champ, who should be back in action soon, guys. The mark, I'm pretty sure, is that guy there, in the middle of those three. Let's see how fast we can get F-15E, shall we? Now, where are we going to find its maximum speed? Well, generally, it's 37 to 42,000 feet with fighter aircraft. Wow, it's always a friggin' bullet, Mach 1.6, 1.7. That's in a climb. It did that in a climb, by the way. Oh, we can test the autopilot. Watch this, viewers. One thing I did learn is autopilot, altitude hold. I believe we've got altitude hold on now.
Cap, I noticed something. The AOA is in units.
So units, yeah.
So I bet the backup instruments are in units too.
Alright, 10 units, and I've never understood units. And you know why that is, viewers? Because they're designed not to be understood. They're deliberately not calibrated to degrees. I did a video on this at some point, but anyway, take my word for it, it's weird. Mark 2, just coming through Mark 2 now. 3 minutes and 48 seconds. What a friggin' powerhouse, viewers. And that's pretty much Mark 2 there. Mark 2.1. Now here's my thing, I've always thought this should be slower. I know that with the Pratt & Whitney 229 engine it makes a bit more power, but I've always thought it should be slower than the F-15C because of its drag. That drag is a lot of things for air to whirl around, isn't it, guys? I think it is anyway.
But the engines are more powerful, and if you get higher, drag gets less and less.
Those are the ramps. We were talking about hydraulic operated ramps, which is always a problem in any fighter. Well, I'll try taking the altitude hold off then. Let's try varying it, the altitude a bit, just for the lols, viewers. Who doesn't like a good lol? Okay, I'm going slower further up.
Yeah, you can try how high you can go before engines have problems.
You've done a test to make sure that you can fly it without the canopy at Mach 2.
No, but I will do that in a minute, guys. I'm just going to put it in a dive.
That's definitely a cap test to do.
Mach 2.2. No, she tops out about Mach 2.2, even in a dive, slight dive. Yeah. All right. I reckon that's probably what they would actually do. Right, you want an instantaneous altitude. Well, let's go and do that, shall we? It's pretty much a perfect condition to do it. 70,000 feet. 71,000 feet, or maybe it wasn't the best condition to do it then. Oh, that sounds good, Viewingtons. Doesn't it sound good?
I might just notice you have other nozzles because you have the Israeli plane.
I got the what are they called? Turkey feathers? I always forget.
So Israeli version actually has different nozzles.
That's interesting, and that's real, isn't it? Because USAF take them off, don't they?
Why?
Maintenance question mark?
Maybe because they run so many F-16s and it's easier, of course, common parts and stuff.
Don't know. Look at that. They do share engines, don't they? Can share engines. Anyway, viewers, we're just gobbling up your well-earned time now. Sorry, I can't tell you how it feels at the moment. There's not much I can do about that. But we've learned a lot about it so far. I have, bearing in mind at the beginning of today, I didn't really know anything about it, apart from it was a bomber and a fighter. My guys, anything you guys want to add before we sign off?
I want to say that when you are inside the cockpit, it's very much, it has very much similarities with F-18, like all the switch gear, and it has like, it's like F-15C having a baby with an F-18. It's like you can find so much similarities with the screens and instruments and switches.
It's not my wing from pulling up hard, so that's the thing we've learned.
Yeah, I mean, it's McDonnell Douglas, or today it's Boeing, but it's McDonnell Douglas, so it even shares some parts with F-18s, like the engine panel and stuff. Yeah.
The start procedure is pretty much the same as the F-18. You've got a switch to flick, and then instead of your 2 engine starts, you've got your flappy paddles on the throttle, and that's it. Just set it to idle once it hits 26%,
Roger, guys.
I think.
I don't know what the screen is, viewers, that comes with it. I'm guessing it's just an early access thing. Roger, guys, sorry I interrupted you there.
You want to have a peek on the damage model a bit, because we already see half a wing fall off.
Alright, viewers, the boys want to see a damage model, and a damage model they will see. Sorry if it doesn't have one yet, but I probably will. Should we go for a belly landing, guys? With my stick that's constantly pulling to the side, really hard?
Yep.
Alright. What can go wrong, viewers? What can go freaking wrong?
I actually had the idea to take a Humvee and try to shoot off parts.
Alright, fine, I'll do it. If I get in trouble though, if you're testing the damage model, you're going to take the plane.
Yeah, it's definitely fly's fault. It doesn't matter.
Always with German.
Yeah, it is all. It doesn't matter. You can always put it in the. It's fly's fault, even if he's not present at the moment.
Right. If I get low enough here, I might be able to clip a wing or something.
Low altitude. Low.
Betty's telling me we're low. Right. If I can sort of watch this.
Pull up.
Some people will like that you don't have Jester who's complaining all the time in the backseat.
Yeah, that's nice. Another important thing we should say is you can operate this plane nearly in its entirety just from the front thing, viewers. Again, I don't know how to do it yet, but you don't need to have like the Jester menu in the F-14, so that's nice. Well, I damaged it a bit, guys. I'd say that's got a freaking damage model. Look, the ANA 70. I'm turning. I'm bumping off my bomb stops.
Actually, if I remember correctly, Cap, it was an Israeli F-15 who once, who had his wing off in a training because it collided with another aircraft and then got back.
So we'll have to do that as well, viewing film winters. Well, I would say that has a damage model, guys, and it appears to be working.
Yep.
I'll be happy with that.
Strongest radar disc in the world.
Yeah,
you can use it as an armor or something like that.
It's American. It's tough. Right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll come back with some more interesting videos soon, and we will, of course, see you later.